And welcome back to Newsmax Prime. As a lot of families gear up for another school year, a shocking after-school program may be coming to a school near you. The Satanic Temple, that's right, the Satanic Temple is now petitioning schools to allow them to open after-school Satan clubs in the new school year aimed at elementary school-age students. Now, Satanic Temple co-founder Doug Messner told the Washington Post, since Christian groups already have after-school programs, Satanists deserve a chance to do the same. J.D. Hayworth had a chance to speak with the president of the Southern Evangelical Seminary, Dr. Richard Land, about this very issue, and here's that interview.
They're being diabolically clever, and it presents some really troubling issues because, you know, no one that I can think of, certainly no one here at SES, wants to have a quote, Satanic Temple after-school club for elementary age students. But at the same time, given the times in which we live, the alternative is to give the government the right to decide which religious clubs are kosher and which ones aren't. And if we start doing that, I can see them saying, well, you can't have an evangelical Christian club because it's a hate group because it teaches that lesbian and homosexual behavior is immoral. You know, when you start letting the government have that kind of control, it's pretty scary. Now, I do think that one safeguard is that they have to have parental approval. You have to have, since you're dealing with minors, you have to have parental approval before you can go to any of these clubs. So it looks to me like the alternatives are, number one, you either eliminate all such clubs, which was the case before the Equal Access Act was passed, or you allow these satanic clubs, or you give the government the right to decide which clubs or which religions are okay and which religions aren't okay. And frankly, given the present state of our government and the present state of our court system, that's more frightening to me than satanic clubs are.
That first alternative that you explored here, Richard, is something that Moises Estevez with USA Ministries says he really believes is the goal. Let's watch and listen.
The people behind the after-school Satan clubs are atheists dressed up in scary costumes. This isn't a Satanist club. This isn't a devil-worshipping club. These are atheists trying to scare parents with pitchfork and devil horns. It's all designed to scare the community and ultimately to put pressure on the community to remove the Christian club.
So that is the rationale.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that at all. Remember, Saul Alinsky, who wrote Rules for Radicals, was an atheist, but he dedicated his book to the first rebel who was at least rewarded with his own kingdom, Lucifer. Now here's a guy who doesn't believe in the devil, but who dedicates his book to Lucifer. So I think that probably what they're trying to do, you know, they lost the court case, and people who are old enough remember that the Equal Access Act, once it was declared the law, you had thousands of high schools and middle schools across the country who said, well, if we have to have Christian clubs, we're not going to have any after-school clubs. And there were literally thousands of them that went out of existence. So this equal access means equal access. And so I think what they've decided to do is they've decided to use this as a Trojan horse to try to eliminate after-school Christian clubs.
Richard, a man by the name of Doug Messner, who is the co-founder of the Satanic Temple, told USA Today that the group has reached out to 9 school districts located near local chapters of the Satanic Temple and is targeting schools, let me quote now, that have hosted or are now hosting Christian good news clubs, close quote. What's troubling is since the Washington Post first reported on the program over the past weekend, apparently the Satanic Temple has been inundated with emails from potential volunteers looking to establish these after-school Satan clubs.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, this is the state of our country. We're in real trouble. We're in the kind of trouble that only God can extricate us from. Every Christian under the sound of my voice ought to be on their knees before God, praying for revival, praying for awakening, praying for divine intervention, because we are in big, big trouble spiritually.
And Richard, it appears that rather than freedom of religion, suddenly there is a pattern of freedom from religion. That it's okay for you to hit your knees in your home or in your fellowship of faith, but don't you dare have any expression in the marketplace, and certainly not in the public school. That seems to be the sentiment at work behind all of this.
Oh, there's no question about that. If you listen carefully, you hear liberal and progressive politicians talking about freedom of religion, which means freedom for religion in your own home or in your own hearth or in your own church, but not anywhere in the public square. Whereas what we have in this country is freedom for religion, which is the right to free exercise of religion and to take your religion into the marketplace. And that's what they don't want. They can't win the argument, so they want to disqualify their opponents.
Dr. Land, Matt Staver, who has been a guest on this program, of course, he is associated with Liberty Counsel. He was asked about this new satanic program. This is the way he responded in that article in the Washington Post, quoting now, "I would definitely oppose after-school satanic clubs, but they have a First Amendment right to meet. I suspect in this particular case, I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of students participating in this. It's probably dust they're kicking up and is likely to fade away in the near future for lack of interest," close quote. Well, on one hand, you could say, yeah, they put them in, it's kind of a stunt. But with the way in which our society has changed, where good has become evil and evil has become good, isn't there a concern, even if there is a foothold, a toehold in elementary school, that this could really, in some perverse way, catch on?
Well, there's no question that it's a real problem. And as I said, we're really forced to choose between one of three options. And the first option is to eliminate all after-school clubs. Second, to allow satanic clubs, or to allow the government authorities to decide which after-school religious clubs are kosher and which ones aren't. And frankly, I think that option is the most dangerous of the three.
Well, we don't want to see an ever-growing government encroach on matters of conscience, and so you make a very valid point. But it's just so concerning to see this. And I will tell you, because most schools, if there's going to be a club, there has to be a faculty advisor. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine working at a school where nobody steps forward to be the advisor to the satanic club, and yet the principal says to a teacher, no, they need an advisor, congratulations, you're the advisor. 30 seconds.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see the politically correct answer being to force someone to take on the job even though they disagree with the beliefs. And of course, that would be a violation of the First Amendment rights of the teacher. No, this is a quagmire that is going to be very difficult to resolve to the satisfaction of everyone. But it seems to me the worst option is to set a precedent where we let government authorities decide which religious groups are kosher and which religious groups aren't, because they'll come after us sooner or later for being hate groups, because we don't acquiesce to a pagan sexuality.
And we want to thank Dr. Richard Land for his time and analysis on this and several other issues surrounding our community. And one final reminder to those of you who watch DirecTV, Newsmax TV's primetime shows are moving to Channel 366 effective the end of this week. In fact, we're already airing this very show on our full Newsmax lineup on JLTV on DirecTV Channel 366. So we encourage you to tune in on that channel and watch us right now. Again, that's Channel 366 JLTV. And we want to hear from you. As always, we want to know what you think. So join the conversation. Give us a call at 1-87-NEWSMAX. Again, that's 1-877-639-7629, and let your voice be heard. Thanks for watching tonight. JD will be back here tomorrow night. Unfiltered with Dennis Michael Lynch is next. Thanks for watching.